support staff, policy 3120. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the hiring of Miguel Vargas for the position student support provider at Myers Elementary, kindergarten through second grade. Salary for the position will be $40,000 prorated. Mr. Vargas' start date will be Monday, January 8th, 2024. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Myers. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Heath. Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Shufelt.
Yes.
Mr. Wright.
Yes.
Ms. Black is a yes. Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Motion is carried 7-0. Number 11, Johnson Moody Parking Lot, policy 6320. It is recommended the Board of Education approve and award BEA Group for the civil engineering services contract pending final negotiations of the term by the district's legal counsel. The project award recommendation for the Taylor School District Civil Engineering Service RFP is $56,700. This total includes a project award amount to PEA Group for $36,700 and a project contingency amount of $20,000. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Myers. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Thomas. Ms. Black is a yes. Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas?
Yes.
Mrs. Shufelt?
Yes.
Mr. Wright?
Yes.
Motion is carried 7-0.
Moving on to item number 9 on our agenda, the superintendent's report.
So, first off, I know I said it a few moments ago, but I can't reiterate this enough. I encourage everyone in the community, I encourage all of our staff to take time, process what we've laid out today. It is a lot that we are asking of this community. I know these are the correct things that we need to do to make ourselves fiscally responsible so that we are providing the best opportunities going forward. But I just want to take that moment for everyone to do that reflection and just remind that we need to take care of ourselves through this as well and find those supports, find those things that are going to help you process through this. The only other piece I want to add to my superintendent's report is, and I'm going to put on my old history teacher hat for a few moments. I love when I have the opportunity to do that, but, and I know I put this in my newsletter for this month, but I just wanted to talk about an event that took place in World War I during the first year of World War I, and it was a truce that happened at Christmas in 1914. It's one of the most remarkable stories of what humanity can be when we strive to do the right things and we strive to recognize the good in other people. And I think that's very fitting at this time of year, and especially with what we're talking about. But essentially, at Christmas in 1914, on the Western Front in France, you had both sides, the Allied and the Central Power sides, they stopped fighting. They came out of their trenches, their nasty trench warfare that was taking place, and they actually went to the people who were their enemy, who they were told to hate, who they were told to shoot, and they met in the no man's land, and they celebrated Christmas together, and they sang songs, and they gave gifts to one another, and they did these things because they could recognize that the other people on the other side were humans as well, and they were just being told what to do, being given orders to go in there and fight. And when they had to return, because eventually the generals took their course and said, you got to return to your trenches. And then they asked these people to open fire on each other again. And people couldn't do it because they now knew what it was, and it caused a major problem. And hence why, when you hear of wars and things that take place now, it doesn't happen. Because when we have those items and when we build those things and we fight and these things happen, it's a way for us to not recognize that humanity in other people. And I just want us to encourage each other to find that time this holiday season to look at others, find the goodness, and recognize that in other people. Thank you.
Moving on to item number 10, our consent agenda, Ms. Black.
Consent agenda policies 166.1 and policy 6470. Number 1, the minutes from December 6, 2023, regular board meeting. Number 2, consolidated items, payment of current bills, certified, non-certified, and administrative reports. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Myers. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Thomas. Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Shufelt.
Yes.
Mr. Wright.
Yes.
Ms. Black is a yes. Motion carries 7-0.
Moving on to item number 11, items scheduled for next agenda, Monday, January 8th, 2024. We have our special board meeting, which is a community Q&A. Next, we have item number 12, which is public comment. Thank you to all those who could be with us tonight. We understand the importance of continuing to keep you informed and providing an opportunity for you to be heard. Public comment will begin with those in person and then move to our online audience. For those in person, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. But after the in-person comment, our online audience will need to find the raise hand symbol for our moderator to recognize and unmute you. Please take into consideration common courtesy, refrain from any personal attacks, and please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. We will provide and assist with timekeeping so each guest will be able to monitor their own time and know when to conclude, so all who wish to speak will have an equal opportunity to do so. As a reminder, if there are any questions at this meeting or by some other avenue, Superintendent Michael Wager or his designee will work on getting those answers to you in a timely manner. Person.
Caroline Pat, 6860 Jackson. First of all, you have such a soft voice. I didn't hardly hear anything that you said. So if you could next time at the next meeting or whatever, and last meeting when I was at home listening on the Zoom, I couldn't hear what you were saying. And I know you just have a soft voice anyways, but if you can put that mic up, I would really appreciate that. For those of you, and I know a lot of people have already gone, if you notice that we have some memorabilia out for the Taylor schools, not just our high schools, but we have middle schools and we have elementary schools back there. That's just a drop in the bucket of what we have collected since 1997. And so with all of this happening now, I'm gonna have to come back and ask for more room because everything that's gonna be changed and collected and everything like that. So I just wanna kind of let you know I'm still around and you're gonna be hearing from me again. A couple questions I have, is I noticed when you did the maps for Holland and the 6th grade academy, I did not notice the library. You know, the other ones had library in a big block, so.
It was just because the map listed it, but they are.
So they do have a library, okay, thank you on that. And also, it was mentioned that the PRC IT will be moving here,
Yes.
but the print department is not moving?
So we're looking at that specifically because the machinery is so large. So it might be the one thing that remains there.
And if it does stay, you have one person there in that building.
Mhm.
Not a good thing.
Yeah.
Security-wise, safety-wise, not a good thing.
So we're also evaluating moving that machinery into this building and housing it here.
That's one concern I would really have, is not to have one person in one building. So, okay. I think that was it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Megan Myers, and just have a few questions about the changes that are getting made in the district. Where are we getting the funding from this? Because I noticed you said that we're almost in a deficit, and like, if we're almost in a deficit, how are we getting the funding for all of these changes?
So I can highlight a key thing, and this is something that I just want to make sure everybody is aware. When the school district passed our bond, each elementary building had a construction sheet that was done and submitted to the state, and that is what also the voters voted on when they voted for the bond. So each elementary school already had a certain amount of money that was being allocated towards it. We are not pulling money from the high school. We are not pulling money from the middle school. What we're utilizing is that existing pot of money that is currently there for the elementary school. So it's roughly around $1 million each building that was already allocated per the bond and what was submitted to the state and what the voters approved. That money is there. And then in addition, because we are consolidating the buildings, that money that's freed up from us closing those buildings, that will be redispersed into the elementaries so that we can meet those improvements.